Spring practice is over. The transfer portal is closed. We know what the 2025 Notre Dame football team is going to look like. So let's count down the top 20 players heading into the 2025 season, starting 20 through 16. Let's talk about it next. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports breaking down everything Notre Dame football. Folks, with the roster now known exactly what it's going to look like heading into the 2025 season, spring practice is over. The 2025 recruiting class the rest of them will be here during the summer. And we also have the transfer portal closed. So we know what this team is ultimately going to look like for the most part. There's always a change here or two that could happen from now until the first game against Miami. But I want to count down the top 20 players entering the 2025 season for Notre Dame. Want to start in descending order, starting at number 20, working my way up. We're going to work through 20 through 16 here on today's show. At number 20, want to start off with defensive tackle Gabriel Rubio. Now, Gabriel has been on this team and has been a part of the rotation for multiple years. We really saw him start to come into his own down the stretch of the 2024 season. The defensive tackle rotation is viewed as being one of the deepest that we have seen in some time in South Bend. Jared Dawson transferred from Louisville. You also have Donovan Heinisch returning. You have Jason Onye returning from his departure from the team. Armel Mukam. A lot of talented defensive linemen in this roster for Notre Dame heading into next season. But I wanted to start the list off with Gabriel Rubio because I think there's some question marks as far as we know we're going to see a lot of Jared Dawson. You know you're going to see a lot of Donovan Heinisch. You know you're going to see a lot of Jason Onye. But which one is going to be the number one of this group as far as being most impactful? If I had to guess today, my most known commodity is Gabriel Rubio. 6'5", 319 pounds. I envision him playing between nose and 3 technique on this defensive line. And I think that he's going to have his most impactful season for the Fighting Irish in 2025. Let's move down to number 19. This is where some intrigue starts. I have Eli Raridon, tight ends. Obviously, hasn't been utilized huge as a pass game weapon for Notre Dame over the years. 16 receptions for 141 yards and 3 touchdowns. But as we know, if you follow the team, he's dealt with a couple knee issues in the past, couple knee injuries that have stunted kind of his growth. But he is healthy and ready to go. So this is a player that is viewed as a huge breakout potentially in 2025. And ultimately, Notre Dame needs him. The tight end room is very thin right now. Eli Raridon is coming off a really good spring. Hopefully he continues that in the offseason because if he can, we can start to see that upside that once made him a top 100 recruit. At number 18, I have a little bit of a cop-out, admittedly. I have the quarterbacks at 18, whether that is CJ Carr or Kenny Mincch winning the starting spot. Obviously, CJ Carr is viewed as probably the leader right now, but we'll see what that battle brings the rest of this offseason into the fall. Didn't want to put him too high because between those two players, although very, very talented, each of them, they have thrown for a combined 4 pass attempts in their Notre Dame careers so far. So I expect them, whoever does win that job, to be much, much higher on this list when we kind of look back a little bit into the end of the 2025 season. But I really do think that this is they need to be on this list because the quarterback position is so impactful and you have 2 really talented players. The question is who is going to be the starting quarterback entering next season and how much Notre Dame, the staff, Mike Denbrock, is going to put on their plate as a first-year starter. Coming in at number 17, I have starting left tackle Anthony Knap. There's always going to be some debate. He's one of the more debated prospects or players on this team overall, obviously for the reasons of he's starting at left tackle. His game probably projects a little bit better at guard, but this is Joe Rudolph's guy. They love Anthony Knapp, 6'4", 294 pounds, incredibly strong, good foot speed, and I expect a big jump in his play from a true freshman to true sophomore in 2025 as the starting left tackle at Notre Dame. Most people will debate on where he should play as far as positionally, but most people can't debate that he is a very talented football player. Anthony Knapp at number 17. Number 16, I have sophomore defensive end Bryce Young. Quite simply, folks, we have not seen a player that looks like Bryce Young come around Notre Dame too often. 6'7", 265 pounds. This is an incredibly massive exterior pass rusher, a guy that can work outside shoulder, but the difference that makes him special, in my opinion, for Bryce Young is he moves exceptionally well. The closing speed, initial burst off the line, this is a special, special athlete. If not for the fact that you have Boubacar Traore, Jordan Botelho, Joshua Burnham, Logan Thomas, Junior Tuialamaka, you have a lot of good defensive ends on this team. If not for that crowded room, I think that this would be a player that would go much higher on this list and be a huge breakout star. I still expect Bryce Young to be a breakout, but the question is whether he will reach more of his upside in 2025 or 2026. But regardless, he's going to be a darn good football player this season for Notre Dame. Folks, what do you think about my list? 16 through 20, starting off hot. Give me a guy that you think is too low. Give me a guy that is too high. Put some players that you would be in this range for you as well. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button on the way out. And as always, go Irish.